JQ Crafty here with another layout, or I guess my first layout for August with that crazy kit I showed you that was just a hodgepodge of everything in my scrap room. Once I get through that horde of mess, then I will start all my organization, I think. I just wanted to get through that horde of mess because it kind of was like everything that was just kind of laying around. So first, I showed you I'm going to do the Freaky Fast formula from the scrap room. Today, they over on their Facebook page, they post monthly challenges, and so this one was over there, Freaky Fast formula, and let me pull it up here so I can read it for you. Right now, though, I'm taking this, I guess while I look for that, I can tell you what's happening. Right now, I'm taking this jelly bean soup partial kit I had left over. It was the homemade 6-bean soup. Whatever came in the kit, a couple of papers, and then the cut apart sheet. I am taking this, okay, so back up a little bit. This homemade 6-bean soup, jelly bean soup one, was definitely quilting aligned. Like all of the cut aparts had to do with sewing or quilting. A lot of the pattern papers were sewing and quilting. And I sew and I quilt, but there aren't very many photos of me doing it. But I put together these photos with this kit because of the colors and kind of the feel it gave me a few months ago, and I never got to it. This is one that was like, I create my little page kits, and it's just one I never got to. Ran out of time or end of the month, or one that just didn't speak to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this one first. Of my giant chaos mess, this is the one that's been sitting in there the longest. So I wanted to scrapbook it. So I'm going to take apart this sheet, and there I was just showing you that was jelly bean soup. I trimmed around the very edge of that. It looks like a quilting cutting mat, basically, to the edge, and then it came with this brown cardstock. So I wanted to kind of give it an edge because I figured I was going to have a brown background. There's a lot of colored cardstock on a lot of these kits, which is sometimes hard to do. And so now I'm just cutting all the pieces of the Freaky Fast formula. And so in the beginning, I started cutting. I was like, okay, I'll just start cutting and then it'll speak to me. This layout was really hard to do. And you'll see that I kind of struggle with what's fitting where, what goes with what. It was really hard. It's like I said, it's very sewing oriented. The actual papers are. So it was really hard to kind of make it fit for what I was scrapbooking, which were photos of my son going to a day camp of dance, and it was all trolls themed. He was really into trolls and he liked dancing, so we thought, let's try it. And two of his daycare friends went, so we figured let's try it. Won't hurt anything. It was either really cheap or free. I feel like it was just really cheap. She had them do crafts and stuff, so that also kind of made me think, okay, this kind of goes, because crafting, sewing, all that stuff kind of together, it works. So I'm cutting all my pieces, which were, I will tell you what that formula said because it kind of came by fast, and I'll make sure it is a little bit longer when I do the final editing. Getting there. And one of the main reasons I decided to do the Freaky Fast formula on this one, because this is one of the few page kits that I had that had enough paper that I was like, okay, I'll just cut them apart with this formula, and they didn't speak to me or match anything else. There were other kits that maybe had more paper, but these ones I was like I said, this kit has been sitting in my stash with pictures matched to it forever, and I'm like, I just want to get them scrapped. So the formula for this one was a 2.5 by 7.5, a 2 3/4 by 8, a 2.5 by 9. A 3-inch by 9 1/4, a 6 by 6, and a 4.5-inch circle and a 4-inch circle. That's a lot of paper. And as you can see, I have a lot of paper. And so the natural thing would be to do a bunch of layers right on top of each other. And so here I'm trying to figure out, okay, what sides do I want? And I kind of give myself a challenge when I do these Freaky Fast formulas. I literally just cut it without thinking, and then I go from there and see if it speaks to me. And I was having a hard time. And right now, in hindsight, that actually looks kind of neat. The way it's layered it up, but I kind of wanted it to go to a gradual to the square, almost like it's pointing to it. And I'm trying to figure out what photos I want. I have the circles I cut, and my circle cutter was being really weird. So I kind of got 4.5-inch circle, and I kind of got a 4-inch circle. I think I ended up actually only getting 2 4-inches, but I'm holding it up to my light to see if what I want in those photos is big enough. So I was holding up the circles and then holding it behind my picture to see if it was big enough, and it was. So I'm trying to just figure out how I want my papers. And I'm kind of deciding that now. And now, yeah. So I'm going to go at least stick them together. Yeah. And I wasn't even going to post this video. I was going to delete it. But then I recently saw Miranda Weber had, it was recently. I like binge watch YouTube videos of all you lovely crafting people. And I save them. And sometimes I want to like watch all of them in like a mini series together. So I'm finally getting through all my Christmas and July videos that I saved that I wanted to watch. So I was watching with Miranda Weber and she was talking about how she's like, this is not my favorite layout. I really don't like it. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. And she's like, but that's fine. It's fine. And I agree. Like, this is kind of the same thing. I felt this about this, and I was like, you know what? She posted hers. It's true. Like, not everyone is going to feel like it's amazing. And I feel like the week that I was doing this layout, I was having crafting block. Like, my brain I wasn't sleeping well. I was having some back issues and wasn't sleeping well, and it just wasn't working. So I had some crafter's block, and I tried my best to like force it, and I was like, you know what? Just step away. So I get to a point here and I'll where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cut out my photos in circles and we'll do those as the circles, as the photos. And I think, okay, that's a good idea. Oh, I just used some cheapy, crappy paper to like, my adhesive was a little bit bigger than around the back, just so it didn't stick to my table or stick when I put it in the... So I thought the circle photos was neat, and this looks okay, but I wasn't feeling it. I just couldn't. It just wasn't happening. Oh, and later I find out that tape runner that I opened, because I'm trying to use up like random stuff that I bought to try, that was it's like a temporary tape runner, so it's actually not permanent. So I did all that work and put this stuff down with it, and I ended up having to redo it all, but... So I tried the circles, and I'm not feeling it. I'm going to fiddle. I fiddle around a lot with this, and this one was hard. I just wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't. So I actually put it aside for, I think it was 2 days, and it kind of works out because I decide finally to do different photos after a while, and I set it aside for a couple days, and I'm glad I did, because in doing that, some things arrived in the mail that I had ordered a while ago that I got back ordered and then showed up, and I think they helped out the page a lot and kind of gave me a little jump in my creativity and kind of pushed me a little bit more again. So here I'm trying those circles still, and it's not working. I just felt like this is one of the few like Freaky Fest formulas. There's a lot of paper involved, a lot, and it was weird. I didn't want to just do the traditional, because I figured it'd be easy just to layer up. That's what all the paper pieces are for. And I wanted to do something else, and it was frustrating me. So I decided to do these 2 photos instead and use my 2 circles. So I have a 4.5-inch around a 4-inch, and then cut the one picture down to like a little square and mount that. Distress the paper, or do some paper layers behind the bigger photo. Futz around with this a little bit. And then I couldn't think of a title, and yeah, I was having some crafting block. It was hard. Yeah, that tape runner is all temporary adhesive, not permanent. All that stuff I'm doing with it, all temporary. Isn't it just it's frustrating when you get kind of a block and you just can't, and it's like, I haven't had time to get in my scrap room either, and I really apologize that these are starting so late in the month. You're going to have a bunch of them And then hopefully I'll kind of be ahead of the game because I have some for September already lined up. So hopefully I'll be ahead of the game then after this. But you'll have a bunch of them in a row to kind of for me to get caught up here. And then I'll have them more regular, more sprinkled throughout the next few weeks. And then my family vacation coming up. So I'm like, oh, I need to get some done so that they're posted on YouTube while we're gone. Yeah, so I finally decide that I must have cut these like label, apothecary label with my silhouette a while ago when I used this. That's like that red there on the side of the bigger photo. And then I start layering this stuff up, thinking this has got to help me out. Yeah, I struggled. I felt a little bit better when I finally got to the fact, okay, I'm going to do the circle photo and this rectangle photo, and these are going to be over here. That made me feel better. But then after this, I just kind of, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I'm trying not to dig. I mean, the whole point is to use up what these kits are or what I have like laying around. And so I don't add a lot of things from my stash as well. But I do have to go to it. But I was like, all right, I'm not going to go dig in my stash and dig in all the new stuff. But honestly, thank goodness the mail came a couple days later with some things. Yeah, the pink paisley sticker book just wasn't the right colors, and that family one just wasn't the right colors, and I couldn't think of what else to help me out to make this page. Like I was struggling, and I'm not one to like, I wasn't gonna just rip it apart, but I wasn't liking it, and I'm not gonna just stop and rip it apart, even though I really felt like it, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm like, I need to get this stuff done. It's okay if I don't absolutely love this page. It still tells a story. It still is memories, but I'm just like, not every page needs to be a gorgeous piece of artwork, but it just wasn't, it was missing something. I couldn't figure out what it was. So ding dong, package delivered. And here I was looking for more stickers and trying to figure out what else I can do. Going through all my watching me struggle on here is really sad. But basically what ends up happening, so when I ordered last time from, was it a cherry on top? Yeah, I did a cherry on top order, and because they had a really good coupon code. I can't remember what it was, but I got Pink Paisley's new sticker book and Dear Lizzie's. And Dear Lizzie had a lot more colors and things that were kind of more related to this. Now, granted, I don't go ahead and use a bunch of the stickers, but there were more colors related to this package. And I tried these wood veneer things I got, and they weren't the right colors either. It didn't feel right. But in came the package of the 2 back-ordered items, which was the Dear Lizzie sticker book and my long-awaited notebook paper edge punch. And I was like, that's what I can do. And this is when I realized that all my adhesive was temporary. I'm going to distress the edges of each of those strips a little differently. And even just doing that little bit made it feel a little bit more finished. Like it just wasn't a bunch of rectangles of paper stacked against each other. So I decided to tear that one after I punched the red one, and then I distress the blue matte looking one. And I feel so much better about it just doing that. It's still not my favorite. It's still just kind of a layout that makes me go, it's okay. But it looks better now than it did. So that made me happy. And then I found, it's really hard to see it in this footage and kind of in the pictures. I did do a close-up picture of the title, but I found my title in the Dear Lizzie sticker book. It says, "You Are Magic," along with this cute little shooting star sticker. And then they had stickers that were the perfect colors for this collection. of stars and hearts and stuff. And then, yeah, that little green strip I put up there says hello. And that one says hey. And then I was able to sprinkle some stars around in the pink, the green, and the pale blue that I have. And I find the title. And it finally was like, that's what I was missing. Just a little bit of details, a little bit of things that make my page at least that I don't want to rip it up. And now it's grown. And now after it's sat for a few days too, it's grown on me. I like the way it turned out now, but I was really worried that I was wanting to rip up the entire page and do over something I started. So I find this sticker in here. They are clear stickers, so they are kind of hard to see. It's not hard to see in person. It actually is really cute. It says Your Magic in here. I'm going to put it on there. And with this being trolls and magic involved with trolls and stuff, I thought that was perfect. But yeah. So hopefully, I hope everybody is not having some Struck Crafty block like I have been lately. And after this layout, I kind of got my mojo. And after I got that mail in with that sticker book, I got some mojo back. And I then went also I started watching my YouTube. I'd missed a bunch of my YouTube videos, so that was another thing that had happened. I hadn't been watching all my inspiration, so I started watching some more YouTube, binge watching, and I was getting a lot more inspiration. So I thank all of you for all the inspiration. These are the close-up. I really appreciate you. Thanks for watching. Bye.